All right, Annabel. So, what we're going to focus on for today is creating your graph. So, let's have a look. So, in our first reaction for our enzyme concentrations, they were kept the same. So, we had 1%, 5%, and 10%. And then in our second one, we had again 1%, 5%, and 10%. In the ammonia concentrations, because you didn't use ammonia in the first one, it would be 0, 0, 0, and then 5, 5, 5%. For your reaction time, because we decided that we would be the mean of your 30-second interval because it came before the 30-second interval, your first reaction times, because they were all unanimously the same, were 15, 15, and 15. That's something that we can work on in future experiments. For right now, what I'd like you to do is write 15, 15, 15, and then add in your next time. So your next time might have been 1 minute and 30 seconds, so maybe 90, and then 1 minute or 2 minutes and 10 seconds, I believe it was. So there you go, 190 seconds. Oh, no, 130 seconds, lovely. And then for your final one, you had 3 minutes, so it was 180 seconds. So I've done, first off in A1, we've done enzyme concentration percentage, ammonia concentration percentage, and then reaction time. There you go. So I might write reaction time in seconds. And then our reaction rate. Now our reaction rate, I have put in a formula. So you'll see up the top, so just over here, if you go into the FX bar, so the FX bar, if you click in there, it's a formula bar. So if you click in equals and then in brackets 1 over, and then I look at where I've put my reaction time, my first one, so C2. So 1 over C2, which is 15, and then close brackets, that will give me my formula, and then I'll be able to use the drag down button to drag that down. So let me give you an example. So we'll just get rid of this for a moment. All right, so I'm going to type that in again. So in my reaction rate, so just in D2, typing in equals, so creating a reaction, 1 over C2, close brackets, and then enter. And then I'm going to use my drag down on the right hand, so it'll be a little cross, and then pulling that down all the way to the end, and you'll get your different reaction rate times. Now, what we're really interested in is the change between our first reaction and our second reaction with and without the ammonia. So we're going to put that as different parts on the chart. So we might do reaction rate 1, which is enzyme concentration. So we're going to do 1, 5, and 10%, 1, 5, and 10%, and then the reaction rate next to it. So if I was going to do that, there you go, I'll demonstrate again. So I'd go clicking on A1 for my enzyme concentrations, and then I'd pull it down. So 1, 2, so clicking, pressing my shift key, and then pulling down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lovely. Right click, copy, clicking on the free box, and then pressing Control and then V. Okay, so I'm going to do the same. So I'm going to do it for reaction rate. So clicking on my box, so D1 reaction rates, clicking the shift key, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dragging down with my down arrow, right clicking, there you go, so you can right click and then copy, and then in the next box next to it, so directly next to it, Control V, and then to drag it across I can just click up the top. Okay, so if I wanted to center those two as well, so click on the box, hold down the shift key, drag it across, and then drag it down, and then just go center. Okay, so let's say that I want to create a scatter plot from this. So what I do is insert, and then go over to my charts, so all of my charts here, click on scatter, so the dots, there you go, and click on my scatter plot there. There you go, so I've got my reaction rate, lovely. There you go. But that hasn't worked. There you go, so we'll try again. There you go. Ah, I see what's happened. Okay, so when I've clicked down, so let's highlight that, and it's actually gone back into, so it's actually changed the numbers around. So what I'd like to do, so I'll click back, so go through, click back. There you go, so click on my reaction rate, click back again. Okay, so let's click on that, shift it, Control C, and then Control V. Now it has a control down the bottom, so it's got my paste options there. So if I click on the paste options, I'm just going to go into numbers because I want it to just give me the numbers that I had from my initial reaction. So I'm not really worried about the formula. So let's do that again. So holding the button down and then insert. Now the reason why I have the enzyme concentrations first and then the reaction rate is because the enzyme concentration is my independent variable, so it's going to be going on the x-axis, and then I want my dependent variable to be on the y-axis, on the vertical axis. So the reaction rate depends upon the enzyme concentration. Okay, so let's do that. So we'll go that, highlight all of that, insert Scatterplot. Lovely. So that's what we're hoping to see. So at the moment, what we see is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little dots on there. What I can do is go into the cross, so chart elements, because it's got reaction rate, so I might change that. So I might say, so reaction rate with and without ammonia solution. There you go. So what I might do is change my chart title, click in some axis titles on the side. So you see that big cross there, clicking on the axis title. Okay, so on our axis title, remembering that this is our dependent variable, so this will be our reaction rate. There we go, and there you go. And the reaction rate is showing us the effectiveness of the amylase solution. Apologies. So the effectiveness of the amylase solution. So you can see that without the ammonia solution, there is a higher effect for the amylase solution. There you go. Whereas on the bottom graph, so in our second graph, so our second trial, you can see that we have a smaller effect over time. Okay, so let's do the enzyme concentration, and we'll do that in percent. Okay, and just center that a little bit. Okay, what else you can do is do data labels. If you'd like, if you don't want to do data labels, that's okay as well. I would suggest doing a trend line. There you go. Just to show the decrease. And you can go into more options and more options down the bottom. So I'll just show you that again so that you see that. More options is a click on the cross. On the trend line, if you go over, you'll see a black arrow. Clicking on the black arrow, going into more options, and then going all the way down. At the bottom, you'll see what is called a display equation and a display R-squared value on chart. If we click on that display R-squared value on the chart, there you go, we can see that our R-squared value is very, very low. So that means that there's been a lot of human error There you go. Here, that has worked out. But let's show you this. Maybe we can show this a little bit better with 2 lines. So let's try that as well.